You know what happens the second she leaves your date? The second she walks out of that restaurant or gets in her car after spending time with you, she's texting her friends. And those conversations are either building you up or tearing you down before you even send your next message. Her friends have more influence over whether you get a second date than you probably realize. And today, we're going behind the scenes to expose exactly what women tell their friends about the guys they're dating. The good, the bad, and the brutal. This is going to sting for some of you, but if you want to know the truth about how women really evaluate men, you need to hear this. 1. The group chat reality. Let's start with something most guys don't understand. When a woman is interested in you, you're not just dating her. You're being evaluated by an entire council of advisors who have known her way longer than you have. Her friends are in her ear constantly, and their opinions matter more than you think. This isn't some conspiracy against men. It's just how women process relationships. They talk things through with their friends. They get second opinions. They look for red flags they might be missing because they are caught up in the excitement or attraction. And here's the reality. Her friends are skeptical by default. They've watched her get hurt before. They've seen her ignore obvious warning signs. They've had to pick up the pieces when things went wrong. So they're protective and they're looking for reasons why you might not be the right guy. The group chat is where your reputation gets built or destroyed. It's where small details get magnified. It's where one weird comment you made gets analyzed from every possible angle. And it's where her friends either co-sign you or plant seeds of doubt that grow into deal breakers. So what are they actually saying? Let's break it down into the real categories. 2. The red flag report. First up, let's talk about the conversations you don't want them having, the red flag reports. This is when her friends are actively trying to talk her out of seeing you again. Here's what triggers these conversations. If you spent the entire date talking about yourself, her friends are hearing about it. Girl, he didn't ask me a single question about my life. It was like I was interviewing him for a podcast or something. And her friends are responding with eye-roll emojis and telling her to move on. If you were rude to the waiter or bartender, that's getting reported too. Women notice how you treat service workers, and they absolutely tell their friends. He was so dismissive to our server, like, who acts like that? And her friends are going to tell her that's a preview of how you'll treat her once the honeymoon phase is over. If you were on your phone constantly, if you seemed distracted, if you checked out other women while you were with her, all of that is being dissected in the group chat. I don't think he was even that interested. He kept looking at his phone, and her friends are telling her she deserves better than someone who can't be present for a couple of hours. Here's one that guys don't expect. If you came on too strong too fast, that's also a red flag. He's already talking about meeting his parents and we just met. Her friends are going to pump the brakes hard on that. They're going to tell her it's love bombing, that it's moving too fast, that something feels off. And the biggest red flag report of all? If you gave off any controlling or possessive vibes, if you questioned who she was texting, if you seemed bothered by her having male friends, if you made comments about what she was wearing, her friends are going to light that up immediately. That's toxic behavior. Get out now. 3. The cautiously optimistic update. Now let's talk about the middle ground. The he seems okay, but we're watching him conversations. This is where her friends aren't sold yet, but they're willing to let things play out. This usually happens when the date was fine, but not spectacular. He was nice. Good conversation. Nothing crazy, but nothing wrong either. Her friends are going to tell her to give it another shot, see if there's more there, but keep her options open. Or maybe there was one thing that gave them pause, but not enough to write you off completely. He was great, but he's still talking to his ex sometimes. He says they're just friends, Her friends are going to tell her to watch that situation carefully. They're not saying run, but they're saying don't ignore potential problems. Here's another common one. He's really successful and driven, but I'm not sure if he has time for a relationship. Her friends are going to ask questions. Does he make time for you? Does he prioritize you? Or does everything else come first? They're trying to figure out if you're actually available or if she's going to be fighting for scraps of your attention. The cautiously optimistic update also happens when there's chemistry, but uncertainty about compatibility. We have so much fun together, but I don't know if we want the same things long term. Her friends are going to encourage her to have real conversations with you, to find out what you're actually looking for instead of assuming. In this phase, her friends are basically doing due diligence. They're not against you, but they're not completely for you either. You're on probation. And what you do in the next few dates is going to determine which direction this goes. 4. The endorsement. Now let's talk about what you actually want to hear. The conversations where her friends are fully on board with you. The endorsement. This is what it sounds like. Guys, I really like him. Really like him. And her friends are responding with celebration emojis and asking for all the details. So what gets you to this level? Here's what women report back to their friends that creates the green light. He actually listened to me. Really listened. He remembered things I mentioned in passing. That's huge. When you show genuine interest and attention, women notice and they tell their friends, and her friends are going to say, that's rare, and she should hold on to that. He made me feel so comfortable. I wasn't nervous at all. When you create an environment where she can be herself without judgment, that gets reported as a major win. Her friends know how rare it is to find someone who doesn't make you feel like you're performing or walking on eggshells. He's got his life together. Actually together. This isn't just about money or career. It's about maturity, having your own place, having real goals, not being a mess. Her friends have watched her date guys who couldn't adult properly. So when you show up as someone who has their act together, that's getting praised in the group chat. Here's one guys don't always realize matters. He's so funny. I was laughing the entire time. Humor is a cheat code. If you can make her laugh genuinely, not just with rehearsed jokes, but with natural wit and banter, her friends are going to tell her that's a keeper quality. And the ultimate endorsement? I can be myself around him. I don't feel like I have to pretend or be different. When her friends hear that, they know you're doing something right. Because authenticity is what everyone is looking for and rarely finding. 5. The comparison conversations. Now let's talk about something uncomfortable. The comparison conversations. Whether you like it or not, you're being compared to her ex. And her friends are very involved in those comparisons. If she just got out of a bad relationship, her friends are hyper-vigilant. They're looking for any sign that you might be like the last guy. Does he do that thing where he makes plans and then cancels last minute? Does he get weird when you hang out with your friends? Is he actually interested in your life or just going through the motions? Her friends remember everything her ex did wrong, and they're watching to see if you repeat any of those patterns. This can work in your favor or against you. If her ex was unreliable and you're consistently showing up when you say you will, her friends are noticing that difference and highlighting it for her. But here's where it gets tricky. Sometimes her friends liked her ex. Maybe they all hung out together. Maybe he was part of the social circle. And now you're the new guy who has to prove you're better than someone they already knew and liked. That's a harder sell. Her friends might say things like, he seems nice, but I don't know if he's as fun as your ex was. Or, I just want to make sure you're not settling because you're ready to move on. These conversations can plant doubt even when you're doing everything right. The reality is, you can't control what her ex was like or how her friends feel about him. All you can do is be consistent, genuine, and let your actions speak for themselves over time. If you're actually better for her than her ex was, that will become clear. But it might take her friends a minute to see it. 6. The physical conversation. Let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, her friends are talking about the physical side of things too. Not in graphic detail necessarily, but they're discussing attraction and chemistry. He's really attractive, but I'm not sure if there's a spark. Her friends are going to ask questions. Is the conversation flowing naturally? Are there moments of tension in a good way? Does it feel like there's potential for real chemistry? Or does it feel more like a friendly hangout? If the physical attraction is there, you better believe that's being reported. I'm very attracted to him. Her friends want to know that she's excited about you, not just logically choosing you because you check boxes on paper. But here's what matters more than looks. Her friends care about how you make her feel physically safe and comfortable. He was respectful about physical boundaries. That's getting major points in the group chat. Her friends have heard horror stories, so when you show that you understand consent and respect her pace, that builds trust. 7. What you can control. So now that you know what's being said, what can you actually do about it? Here's the truth. You can't control what her friends think, but you can control what she reports back to them. Be genuinely interested in her. Ask real questions. Remember details. Show that you're present and engaged. Because when she tells her friends, he actually pays attention, that's working in your favor. Be consistent and reliable. Do what you say you're going to do. Show up on time. Follow through. Because when she tells her friends he's so dependable, they're going to encourage her to keep seeing you. Treat everyone with respect. The waiter, the bartender, random people you interact with. Because she's watching and reporting back. And her friends are using that information to gauge your character. Be yourself, but be your best self. Don't pretend to be someone you're not, but also don't show up as a slob who can't hold a conversation. Put in effort, care about the impression you're making, and most importantly, make her feel good. If she's leaving your dates feeling happy, excited, valued, and comfortable, that's what she's telling her friends. And when her friends hear that consistently, they're going to be in your corner. Here's the bottom line. Her friends are talking about you. That's not going to change. But what they're saying is largely determined by the experience you create for her. You can't win over her friends by trying to impress them directly. You win them over by being genuinely good to their friend, by showing up consistently, by treating her well, by being someone they can see making her happy. Do that, and the group chat works in your favor instead of against you. If you found this valuable, subscribe for more honest conversations about dating and relationships. We're cutting through the nonsense and giving you the real picture. See you next time.